Yeah, but that's another thing. Protests in China, that's all like a matter of perspective, right? Like, whenever you see protests in China, the people that are protesting, they're protesting for more communism. And I know this. I know this because I've spoken to people who lived in China like who describe this, and it's like one of those things where you have to like hear it to be able to like wrap your head around it. But like when you see all that stuff on the news, right? When you see the stuff on the news about like pro democracy, the pro democracy is they want more democracy to do communism because those people are Marxists, they're socialists, that's what they believe in. They're trying to break out of the authoritarianism, right? So when they say pro democracy, they don't mean capitalism. Those kids, even at Tiananmen Square, those kids were socialists, right? They wanted socialism. They wanted it to be so that there wasn't like military rule over them, so that if they went to go like make money in Southeast Asia somewhere else, that they'd be, kidnapped and right, like, but those people are still like socialist oriented. So like when you see um um sorry, for some reason I'm not seeing the chat on my like screen, so I have to look on my laptop to see them. Yes. So the whole culture is based on collectivism. So when you see, this is a perfect example. It's like the thing that was happening with the Apple factories, right? And the thing about not the vaccine, the testing. They weren't Apple wasn't adequately doing testing, so COVID was spreading, right? So the Chinese public, the workers, were protesting against Apple because they weren't following the rules, right? Like they were creating an unsafe working environment. So we look at it through our little lens and we see, right? They want freedom, right? They don't want to have, um, they don't want to have COVID limitations. But yes, they do. They want it to be done properly. They want it to be done so that it doesn't take 4 hours, or so that it's being done in this way that it's like repressive. They want it to be done efficiently because they know that it could be done efficiently. And they are protesting it for more collectivism, right? They're not protesting for liberalism. They're not protesting for individual freedoms. They don't even understand the concept of individual freedoms, right? They're all collectivist oriented. So when you see those pictures of the protests in China, what's happening is like because of there is capitalism going on. Apple and Microsoft, massive pioneers of industry of the West, are situated in China because China has a massive workforce that is, unmatched, and they have the industry and the ability to, because they have the factories, right? So there's a thing where like China is needing to ramp up their production as a capitalist country. So there is this means in which all of the social norms are disintegrating slightly because everybody is becoming more oriented towards capitalism, but they're trying to do it in a way that it's all in this collectivist mindset. We don't even know how China's economy works. Like they literally don't let us know. That's why China doesn't have Bitcoin, because if they had Bitcoin, we'd be able to see how they're in like the inner workings of their economy. We don't know how their economy is oriented. Like we literally, that's like what the CIA is doing. Like that's their entire job, is to figure out how China's economy works, because China's entire economy is like oriented within Western capitalism, right? Because they're fucking better at it than we are. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, corporate spying, but that's, who knows? This is like crazy harebrained, but that's the entire point of this stream. But like, who knows how long they've had that concept of using capital against capitalism, right? Because if you think about like the same time that like I'm doing like a lot of non-factual history here, counterpoints and hinge points, but think about like as the Soviet Union was falling, right? Just as the Soviet Union was falling, China was getting like more, because as the Soviet Union was falling is when the US was doing like their outposting of all their industrialized jobs. All of that was being outsourced to China. So at the same time that the Soviet Union was dissolving, there was like this hand, whereas China was just becoming like, the Soviet Union dissolved, but really there was almost no, it almost seemed like there was a shift, but they never really went away. There was just a shift in power. It was just went from the Soviet Union to the communists. And